That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, I am extremely excited. The last time we tried to do this, oh my God, the draft went horribly. Okay, we got stuck with running back after running back after running back, but we updated our rankings, and we are going to be uploading these rankings over to Underdog Fantasy, and we are going to be diving into Best Ball Mania 3. This is a $25 buy-in tournament-style best ball format. Keep in mind, all the money is really at top. Of course, you still get money if you get first in your 12-team league, you're getting paid. You still get money if you get second in your 12-team league, you're getting paid. But that's not what we're going for. I want to be able to come on a year from now and go, ha, 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 look at all you losers. Everybody who doubted us, we got first. We're bringing home $2 million. I will pull up in my chains. I will have a Lamborghini in the background. We're going to jump in. We got 10 spots waiting. This should be filled very quickly. Okay, this draft is filled. We just got the 107. I honestly haven't drafted from this pick before, but oh my God, anything will be better than where we selected last time. I'm feeling like we got some wide receivers coming in our direction. If we go through and look at this player list, usually you are just going to see these players listed out according to their ADP, and you'll still see their ADP on the right side if anybody wants to track what a smart drafter would do instead of what we are going to do. But we are going to go through, and for the first 100 picks, I don't care what position we need. I don't care who we have on our roster. I am going to take the player that is highest in my rankings.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
So you'll see, for instance, Jamar Chase has a higher ADP than Justin Jefferson. However, I personally have Jefferson ranked higher this upcoming season. So I uploaded my own CSV file, and we have Justin Jefferson over Jamar Chase. But Jonathan Taylor, the first player off the board, that shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. You should see Jonathan Taylor, then some order of Cooper Kupp and Christian McCaffrey. Then from there, okay, we'll see. Post Dylan coming in. We haven't had Dylan out in a very long time in one of these drafts. We have a War Rocket. We have Deezenators. We got a couple people, a part of the flock, out here drafting with us. That's going to be exciting, but we aren't live streaming, so they don't know what we're doing. They don't know the players that we are going to be going for with these rankings, which will be exciting. McCaffrey goes to the 103, so yeah, that's what you come to expect. Cooper Kupp, McCaffrey in some order with these two selections. Let's see where Dylan decides to go. Once you get to the 104, I think this is where you could go a couple different ways. Yeah, Jamar Chase is the most common pick that you're going to see at the 104 according to his ADP. Now from here, you're most likely going to get Derrick Henry off the board at 5. Personally, I'm hoping Derrick Henry does go off the board because we don't have him right there. Okay, it looks like we're going running back. It looks like we either have Austin Eckler or Najee Harris. Keep in mind, Derrick Henry has an ADP of 4.8, so I'd imagine Derrick Henry is the most likely player to go here at 6. Give us Eckler. Give us Eckler. Come on, Gary. Come on. Do not take our guy. Just give us Austin Eckler. It's very simple. He goes Kelsey. We're getting our guy. We are going to get Austin Eckler. He is the highest ranked player according to our rankings. And if you're wondering why I have Austin Eckler ranked ahead of Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler is playing in a much more efficient offense. I'm expecting that the Los Angeles Chargers have more trips to the red zone, and that may equal more touchdown upside for Austin Eckler this season compared to what we have had so far in his NFL career. And on top of this, I love the role that Austin Eckler has in the receiving game. I am not too worried about Isaiah Spiller going to the Los Angeles Chargers based on the investment made into Isaiah Spiller. This is a running back that I see playing in a very similar role that what you would have with someone like, I hate to say it, but just one of those secondary options in years past. Now we have some veteran wide receivers off the board. You got Devontae Adams. You have Stephon Diggs at the end of the first round. Mark Andrews at the beginning of the second. Honestly, I would have loved to get Stephon Diggs making it back to us, but that's simply not going to happen. We may end up having to go Tyreek Hill here. If you're checking out our rankings, not going to be a pick that I'm that excited about making. We actually ended up having to take Tyreek Hill, I believe, at the 203 when we fell in no man's land previously. And you know what? Now that we look at these rankings, this is going to be something that we have to go over to the lab. We have to fix this. We have to fix the CSV file. I think we probably need to have CeeDee Lamb, who is ranked higher than Tyreek Hill according to ADP. But I think we need to push CeeDee Lamb up to be higher in these rankings as well, because now we're on the clock. We're taking Tyreek, but I'm not that excited about it. I honestly may prefer Lamb in a vacuum given the offense that he's going to be playing a part of, because you look at CeeDee Lamb, this is a wide receiver that is a part of a Dallas Cowboys offense that was first in the NFL with points scored last season. And on top of this, with CeeDee Lamb, you have no Amari Cooper. So he has less target competition in a better offense. Tyreek Hill's going to a worse offense and with more target competition with Jalen Waddle there. So now that we make that selection, this is a fix that we need to make to these rankings. We need to go ahead and move CeeDee Lamb up a little bit and move Tyreek Hill down. Mike Evans goes to the 2-8. I really like that Mike Evans selection. We actually had him ranked higher than his ADP as well. Completely agree with it. You have a little bit of a wide receiver run happening here in the middle of the second round. And before we get back up on with our third round pick, please, if you have not done so already, go sign up for Underdog Fantasy. This is where we're drafting. This is where we're going to be drafting all offseason on Underdog Fantasy. You can opt into real money fantasy football drafts today. You do not submit a starting lineup in these best ball leagues. You do not work the waiver wire. So that's going to allow us to draft over 200 of these. And like a lot of other people in this draft, you can get into drafts with us on the live stream. Get in the draft with us in videos as well. And when you sign up with promo code FLOCK, they will match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to 100. And at the same time, you'll get our 2022 rankings, our 2022 rookie rankings, and you'll get our 2022 Dynasty Rookie Draft Guide. But it looks like we are going to get Saquon Barkley or Kyle Pitts making it to us at pick 31. I'm completely fine with either. And oh my gosh, this is why I almost want to take Waddle here. Should we deviate from our strategy? Waddle goes anyway. Okay, good. Get the temptation away from me. Looks like we're going to go Saquon Barkley, ADP of 26. We do have him ranked a little bit higher than I guess most other people in this draft. If we're getting him here at pick 31, this is a running back that I'm actually expecting the situation to be better this upcoming season with the New York Giants, based on the fact that you have hopefully a much better coaching staff coming over from the Buffalo Bills. We saw how they were able to turn Josh Allen into possibly the best quarterback in the NFL. Now, not saying that that's going to be Daniel Jones. Of course, we can't expect Daniel Jones to take that turn. But what we can say is maybe overall, this offense goes from being a bottom 5 passing offense in the NFL to league average. And with the talent profile that Saquon Barkley has, if he's able to stay healthy in his role as a receiving running back out of this backfield, I think that could be very exciting. What's also exciting is getting some running backs going right after us. You have James Conner, David Montgomery going here at the end of the third round. Once we start the draft with 2 running backs through the first 3 rounds, the last thing you want to be doing is continuing to hammer in these running backs. We really want to have some wide receivers falling to us. This is where we got lost in the last draft, where we try to just draft off of our rankings. And I think we move some of those wide receivers up, move some of the running backs down. So hopefully we don't get caught in a bad spot again. Akers goes at the 312. Okay, good for us. Come on, let's get some more running backs going. And holy crap, you had Alvin Kamara falling to the 303 here. I don't know if, legitimately, I don't know if I've ever seen Alvin Kamara go this low. Now, of course, we did, I believe, like 150 drafts last offseason. I've only done about 20 to 30 drafts total this offseason, and only like, I want to say 5 to 10 Best Ball Mania drafts. Like, it's less Best Ball Mania than overall. We've done a lot of private drafts with people a part of the flock, but I've never seen in all those drafts Alvin Kamara make it to the 3rd round. That's crazy value at this point. Okay, so we have some wide receivers going off the board. It looks like we're probably going to end up with a running back making it to us at the 406, unless you get DJ Moore or Darren Waller falling. Terry McLaurin goes to the 404. Come on, don't take DJ Moore. Come on. Okay, Srug here has gone Allen, Derrick Henry, James Conner. They go Waller. We get DJ Moore. Hell yes, we get a wide receiver coming in. With DJ Moore, you have to be concerned about the quarterback situation, of course, but this is a wide receiver that we have seen historic age-adjusted production early on in his NFL career, based with horrible quarterback play. Horrendous quarterback play as well. DJ Moore is a wide receiver that's gone for over 1,000 receiving yards, I'm pretty sure, over the past 3 seasons. I mean, with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback last year, Courtland Sutton averaged 1.4 receptions per game. 1.4 receptions per game in games that Jerry Jeudy was healthy in. And everybody wants to say, oh my God, how can you blame that against him? He had Teddy Bridgewater. DJ Moore has dealt with worse quarterback play. DJ Moore has been right there in that same boat. DJ Moore has been producing. So, of course, it's concerning the quarterback situation you currently have in Carolina. But DJ Moore, in years past, also wasn't going in the 4th round. So I'm completely fine with it. I understand why someone would want to go with Amari Cooper with a much better quarterback situation in Cleveland. It is what it is. I really think it's up to you. You have Dobbins going at the 408. I honestly have no preference. I just really didn't want to be in the same situation that we were in the last draft where we ended up having to get running back in rounds 4, 5, and 6. And there's nothing worse. I promise you, there's nothing worse than underdog in this format in particular. That's going to be best ball, where you start 3 wide receivers and you only need to start 2 running backs to go as running back heavy as we ended up having to go in that last one. So I'm excited to get DJ Moore, Tyreek Hill as 2 wide receivers here. Jalen Hurts goes to the 409. Interesting to see Jalen Hurts go here above someone like Justin Herbert, above Kyler Murray, above Lamar Jackson. I can't even say that I hate it. Now, I'm sure that Moon to Josh wanted to get Jalen Hurts so he could stack him up with A.J. Brown. Real quick, I really don't like this A.J. Brown selection. To take A.J. Brown here over someone like T. Higgins, to take him even over Keenan Allen. I understand you get Keenan Allen with your next pick, but this seems very aggressive. I also don't like the Patrick Mahomes selection at the 301. One thing that you'll see teams here on the turn do is they'll take a player like Patrick Mahomes that in the majority of these drafts, he's going at the 3-4 turn instead, because you do need to be selective in how you're going out and building unique teams. Because as we've said, yeah, you want to win first in this 12-team league. You get paid. You want to win second, you get paid. But what you really want is you want to get to that playoff tournament at the very end and have a unique team. Not many teams are going to take Mahomes here at the 2-3 turn. And when you have Mahomes stacked with that Taylor, when you have him stacked with T. Higgins, this is going to be a combination that very few other drafters have. Now, Justin Herbert goes here to the Mike Williams owner. So you kind of see what this team does here from the 2 spot. So they go into this turn wanting that Los Angeles Chargers stack. And instead of taking Justin Herbert, who I believe had a higher ADP than Mike Williams, they go, hell, the team at the 101, they have Mahomes at the 301. Let's take Mike Williams at the 411. We're pretty much guaranteed to get Justin Herbert, making it back to us. So yeah, they get the Los Angeles Chargers stack with Keenan, Mike Williams, and Herbert. Jerry Jeudy goes at the 504. Okay, so yeah, you're going to see we had Breece Hall ranked as one of the best players available in the last round. I'm very high on Breece Hall. I wouldn't even be upset if Breece Hall makes it to us in the middle of the 5th round here. Breece Hall has an ADP of 49, so I wouldn't be surprised also if Breece Hall actually ends up getting drafted. I'm fine with Breece Hall or Chris Godwin. Leave us with either. I'll be a happy man. Gary Whale hasn't taken a running back yet. It'd make a lot of sense for them to go with Breece Hall. They have CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Waddle, Amari Cooper, and Travis Kelce. They go Michael Thomas. So we're going to go Breece Hall. I don't love getting 3 running backs here. Thank God we ended up getting DJ Moore. I think that if this was a draft where we weren't drafting based off our rankings, I could easily see me going with the receiver in Chris Godwin. Hopefully we see War Rocket here really push the envelope at running back. It would be very funny to get them going with their 4th running back in this draft. If that, oh my God, they go Travis Etienne at the, they may save our draft alone. They may be battling it out, these 0 running back drafters. Someone like Gary Whale, who has yet to take one. And same thing with Moon 22 Josh. Hopefully taking Travis Etienne here forces a couple of these other teams to reach on running back, how we are going to be having to reach on wide receiver later on in the draft, and it balances things out. We get Josh Jacobs going. It's very good for us. Very, very good. Come on. Deezenators, they have 1 running back. Deezenators, a long-time member of the flock. Obviously, we're not live streaming this. They have no idea what we're saying. But please, my man, take a running back. Leave us some receiver value. That's what we're going to need here in the middle rounds. You're going to get a massive wide receiver run happening in rounds 6 and round 7. I mean, once you get Josh Jacobs and Travis Etienne off the board, I don't even really know what other running backs are going to be going here. I mean, you have Elijah Mitchell available, and that's about it. So Joe Burrow goes at the 512. Russell Wilson, Hawkinson, I guess A.J. Dillon, Kenneth Walker. Yeah, so you see this is just pretty much all wide receiver. So I'm kind of happy that we got Breece Hall at pick 55. I mean, it was behind his ADP. We've selected every player behind their ADP, which is funny. Of course, I'm not drafting based off ADP. We're drafting based off of our rankings here. But we got Austin Eckler, pick 7. Saquon Barkley, pick 31. Breece Hall, pick 55 at the running back position. Wide receiver Tyreek Hill, pick 18. DJ Moore, pick 42. But we definitely need more help at receiver. We are not done at receiver. Okay, Sutton goes to the 602. Not a player I would have targeted. Elijah Moore at the 601. Not great for us. War Rocket has yet to go receiver. Let's see where they go. If they take Elijah Mitchell, I'm going to laugh my ass off. They're not going to do it. It would ruin their team. Some would argue their team's already ruined. I made the mistake in the last draft. I didn't want to say it was a conscious mistake. Our rankings made the mistake. They go Juju Smith-Schuster. I'm kind of fine with it. Our best wide receivers, according to our rankings, are going to be DeAndre Hopkins, Rashad Bateman. I don't want Amon-Ra St. Brown here. I feel like there is a tier drop-off after DeAndre Hopkins and Rashad Bateman. Even though Amon-Ra St. Brown's higher than Bateman, according to ADP, I feel like that's going to be a hard pick to sell. Amon-Ra St. Brown goes good. Yeah, I think that if you're looking at Bateman with Lamar Jackson, you know what? Yes, DeAndre Hopkins, a risky pick. I would not advise someone who's submitting a starting lineup every single week to go ahead and to take DeAndre Hopkins here. But the reason we are going to be taking Hopkins is so much of that money is determined based on your fantasy football playoff stretch. And you know, based on DeAndre Hopkins missing the first 6 weeks this season, that there's going to be a lower percentage of teams in that tournament that have DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to be a very low-owned player. So if you get to the tournament and you have DeAndre Hopkins for the price that you drafted him at, he's going to have one of the highest ceilings, combined with the fact that he is going to be low-owned in that large field tournament where that money's sitting at top. I'm kind of fine taking DeAndre Hopkins in this format in particular. Keep in mind, this is a best ball format, no trading. No trading at all. I acknowledge that if we're talking raw points, Bateman, Darnell Mooney, a couple other wide receivers in this range will have a better hit rate overall. But if we're talking about that elite level upside at the end of the season, I probably want to just go with DeAndre Hopkins here. And if you used promo code FLOCK and you have access to our locals community, first off, thank you so much for using promo code FLOCK on Underdog Fantasy. I hope you get in a live stream. I hope you get in a video with us very soon. But if you want this CSV file, let me know. I'll send it to you, or maybe I'll just upload it for anybody else. But we've only created our top 100 rankings. I'm trying to fine tune these before we actually upload the file because it changes that draft board. You can still see the ADP. You can still see their positional ADP as well. But I want to make sure that I'm confident with it before I just go out there and throw it to the public. Now, Moon to Josh, literally going 0 RB here. They've gone Kupp, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Then they grab Justin Herbert. Okay, this is a beautiful draft. Oh my God. They play this perfectly. They get A.J. Dillon as their running back one. Of course, a very low floor team, but we're talking about ceiling. You're chasing that ceiling. And if something were to occur to Aaron Jones, look at the ceiling of this roster. You could potentially be walking away with 3 wide receiver ones. You have the double stack with an elite ceiling with Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Justin Herbert. You have TJ Hawkinson, who has a top 3 tight end finish in his range of outcomes. And if Aaron Jones were to go down, A.J. Dillon's locked into being a running back one in fantasy. That is a fantastic start, a ton of upside, way more upside than our draft has, but it is what it is. We're battling it back. Okay, so now it looks like we're maybe going to get stuck going quarterback here if we're listening to our rankings. Yeah, Brandon Ayuk goes the 704. I'm not dying for a receiver. Of course, I would like to get someone like Garrett Wilson here. That would be nice. But if we end up getting Russell Wilson, hell, I'll be fine with it. We don't have a stack. Dak goes. So we are going to just listen to our rankings. We are going to go ahead and we are going to take Russell Wilson. What we really want to see is we want to see the teams on the turnover here. They need to go quarterback as well. Help us out. Help us out. Go with one of these other quarterbacks and make sure that Tom Brady, Deshaun Watson, Trey Lance are not the best players according to ADP making it back to us. I will tell you right now, I will throw on my little speculation hat. I think what's probably going to end up happening is I think we are probably going to end up getting Kenneth Walker as the highest rated player coming back. Now, Chris Olave goes over Garrett Wilson. I do not understand this whatsoever. I understand, yes, the Jets offense doesn't look great. I'm there with you. I'm not a believer in the Jets. However, if you were looking at that New York Jets offense, it doesn't really matter whenever Garrett Wilson has less target competition. It's Elijah Moore compared to Michael Thomas. And on top of this, if you're looking at Garrett Wilson, the receiver prospect, he is just significantly better than Chris Olave. I mean, Garrett Wilson, if we just look at their past season at Ohio State, Garrett Wilson, I believe, had about 15 receiving yards more on a per game basis than Chris Olave, and he was a year younger. So personally, I'm going to go Garrett Wilson over Chris Olave every single time in these drafts. Hunter Renfrow goes at the 7-11. I wouldn't have been a fan of taking Renfrow here. Hopefully, Show Mail or War Rocket go quarterback here. It's unlikely. I will say that. It's unlikely they both take a quarterback. We're probably going to end up coming back around with one. It is what it is. Cordell Patterson goes at the 7-12. Brady goes to the 8-01. Okay, so Deezenators, he doubles up on quarterback with Burrow and Tom Brady. Keep in mind, you can do that in a best ball format. He's only going to have to draft 2 of these guys. I guess now, whenever we have the 18-man rosters, I'm going to be more willing to just go ahead and draft 2 quarterbacks early and then not necessarily have to worry about drafting a third one later on. But we're going to get Kenneth Walker. I mean, if you're looking at Kenneth Walker, even though his ADP is sitting here at 92, I've seen him just falling more and more and more in these drafts. And it's not good to be drafting this many running backs early. We moved running backs down these rankings. It looks like we have to continue to do so. And what sucks too is when you take these rookies, like if you look at Kenneth Walker's projection on here, you're just going to see it's so freaking low that our total projection, and this doesn't matter whatsoever, but it just hurts. It hurts to see. We're going to go Kenneth Walker, pick 90. Oh my gosh. So right now, quarterback, Russell Wilson. Running back, Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker. Wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, and DeAndre Hopkins. So lesson learned. Same as the last draft. What we need to do is we need to go ahead and move these running backs down our rankings, move these receivers up so we don't get stuck in these dead spots where, I mean, I think what we should have done if we weren't listening to our rankings is potentially go Chris Godwin in the 5th. Like, would you rather have Chris Godwin and Kenneth Walker or Breece Hall and Rondell Moore? I'd probably rather have Chris Godwin and Kenneth Walker. Rondell Moore does go here at the 808. This is a team that has Kyler Murray. I think that pick makes a lot of sense. So we only have our rankings built out to the top 100. And after that, we're going to be drafting based off of ADP. And of course, not just off ADP. We're not listening to the top ADP. We're listening to the top of our rankings for the first 100. But from there, roster construction is so important in best ball that I'm ignoring our rankings. I'm ignoring ADP. And we're going to go ahead and finish this team out as I think we can try to save it. I think we did an okay job saving our draft last time. We'll see if we can do the same thing here. You have Dalton Schultz going at the 809. Clyde Edwards-Helaire at the 810. Please, Josh, take a running back here. Take 2 running backs. You've killed this draft so far. I'm telling you, please don't take any more receivers. I know you're probably going to punish us. I know you're probably going to leave no receivers available for us on the board. But it would be real nice if you did. It'd be really, really nice if you did. Like Christian Kirk making it back to us would be the literal dream. So he goes Kareem Hunt at the 811. Like imagine a world where Nick Chubb and Aaron Jones go down and you're rocking with Kupp, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams are your receivers, Justin Herbert at quarterback, tight end TJ Hawkinson, sitting there with 2 running back ones as well with AJ Dillon and Kareem Hunt. Okay, so Deshaun Watson goes to the 812. Really like the Deshaun Watson selection. Looks like some tight ends are falling. Keep in mind, I think Dallas Goedert's falling for the right reasons. I mean, if you're looking at Dallas Goedert, this is a tight end that's going to have serious target competition with A.J. Brown coming over. It's not just going to hurt Devontae Smith. It will hurt Dallas Goedert as well. But it looks like we may get Christian Kirk making it back to us. So we're picking at 103. So once we're picking at 103, that is going to be past our ranking. So we can kind of go in whatever direction we want. So if Miles Sanders makes it to us, if he falls 13 picks in his ADP, we're ignoring Miles Sanders. We cannot take another running back. We legitimately cannot take another RB. I may be fine taking the value with Lance. Yeah, Lance goes to the 902. I was going to say, obviously, Lance has had some very bad reports. Christian Kirk goes to the 903, leaving us with Chase Claypool, Kadarius Toney, Tyler Boyd, Michael Gallup at receiver. Christian Watson goes to the 904. There's Russell Gage on the board as well. Yeah, we're going to have to take one of these wide receivers. I honestly don't have a strong preference with this tier of receiver. Like Tyler Boyd does stand out for me, but we just find ourselves drafting Tyler Boyd in pretty much every single one of these drafts. Gallup goes. Okay, with Gallup going. So honestly, if you put me up to a lie detector test, ask me who I prefer between Claypool, Toney, and Boyd. I'm probably going to just go ahead and take Tyler Boyd. I can see the argument for drafting Aaron Rodgers, for drafting Derek Carr, but whenever we have DJ Moore on this team, whenever we have Tyreek Hill on this team, I am probably going to want to go ahead and wait and take Tua Tagovailoa in the next round. So we're going to take Chase Claypool here at the 907. Like I said, I don't really have a preference over any of these wide receivers. And if I did have a preference, it would be for Tyler Boyd, who has an ADP so late that he could potentially make it back to us in the next round. So we will just go ahead and take Chase Claypool here as we are desperate for some wide receiver help. Kadarius Toney goes to the 908. And with this build, I wonder if we can get away with only drafting 4 running backs. So we have Kenneth Walker, we have Breece Hall, we have Austin Eckler and Saquon Barkley. Interesting. We may get away with only drafting 4 RBs. Probably going to end up drafting a 5th because I'm probably going to pansy out, but we'll see. We'll see. Allen Lazard at the 909. I really don't like the Allen Lazard pick if you're going to be comparing him to some of the other receivers on the board, like Tyler Boyd. Like with Tyler Boyd, he just has such a high floor and ceiling combination. I mean, he gets there with the floor regardless of if T. Higgins and Jamar Chase are healthy based on how condensed that target tree is in Cincinnati. Like, really, there are only going to be 3 wide receivers in the field, 3 wide receivers getting snaps, period. Tyler Boyd has a decently high floor, but the thing is, if you were to have an injury to either T. Higgins or Jamar Chase, I would be confident that that target share would just directly go over to Tyler Boyd. CJ Uzama's gone off Cincinnati as well. So I love me some Tyler Boyd. Like, if you are looking at Tyler Boyd in a vacuum, I probably prefer him over Chase Claypool. The issue is, I just think that we can't take Tyler Boyd in every single draft. Okay, so Deasonators, Dallas Goedert here at the 912. We do need a tight end, but I've really found that I think late tight end's the way to go this year. I mean, if you're looking at those early tight ends, they pretty much all have questions. With George Kittle, we don't know how the quarterback change is going to be. With Travis Kelce, pushing 33 years old. With Darren Waller, you're adding Devontae Adams into this offense. With Kyle Pitts, clearly has the ceiling, but his quarterback's Marcus Mariota. Like, all these guys have question marks to the point where I'm probably fine just consistently waiting on tight end, probably drafting 3 of these guys. So Deasonators goes Goddard and Dawson Knox. Derek Carr goes to the 1002. Kind of want to see some quarterbacks go off the board. I don't think there are really any wide receivers we could be looking at. Okay, so Justin Fields at the 1003. Yeah, we're probably going to end up going with Tua to stack with Tyreek Hill. I don't love Tua Tagovailoa by any means. Like, I know Tua has his fanboys. I am personally not one of them. It's more so just to get that stack. What wide receivers would we be passing on? Can we pass on can we pass on Russell Gage? What quarterbacks are we going to get later on? We need to draft Tua. We need to get the stack. It sucks. It really, really friggin' sucks. I don't think Russell Gage is that much of a loss, though, compared to some of the other wide receivers, where if this team's going to be any good whatsoever, if this team has a chance in that tournament, we are going to need to get that spike week from Tua Tagovailoa, especially since we're not going to have the option to really stack too many Denver pass catchers. We are going to be targeting the combination of both Tim Patrick as well as KJ Hamler at the very end of this draft. But yeah, let's go Tua here at the 1006. I'm assuming we can still go Gesicki. Yeah, actually, I really like this pick because now we can build around this Miami Dolphins stack. We can go Gesicki at tight end. We can try to get Gesicki and Albert O together for Miami and Denver. We can also try to get the secondary receivers in Denver like Tim Patrick, like KJ Hamler, as we already said. Yeah, okay. I think this is going to be fine. I think we got it. Okay, so Chase Edmonds, Rashad Penny go off the board. I really like the Chase Edmonds selection. If you're looking at Chase Edmonds, this is a running back that, we have seen him be able to go out there and handle a 3-down workload in spot starts in Arizona. The issue, obviously, is just having a job for long enough to where he can show us that he can be a 3-down bell cow over a duration rather than just a single game. Frymuth goes to the 10-12. We really want Gesicki making it back to us. And Gesicki goes the 1101. Okay, so that definitely sucks.
Sucks to be me right now.
Carter just continuing to fall. Albert O goes to the 1103. Okay, so there goes our Russell Wilson dream. Lawrence goes to the 1104. We're done quarterback. We're really just wide receiver tight end. I'm probably going Jacoby Myers here. With Jacoby Myers, I legitimately do not care whatsoever about Thornton coming in, Thornton getting drafted in the second round. He is literally just a field stretching wide receiver that, if anything, He's not going to command any volume whatsoever. And very, 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 very rarely do I ever say this about a wide receiver being added to the offense, helping another receiver by taking attention away. But when it's true, it's just those pure field stretching wide receivers not getting targeted at a heavy rate. It's the guys like Deshaun Jackson. It's the fastest 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine with Thornton coming in for New England. I completely understand going George Pickens as well. My issue is when we continuously stack up these rookies, guys like Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, it's going to be hard to also go and get a George Pickens. Consider the fact that we also need production at the beginning of the season with DeAndre Hopkins missing 6 games. So we'll go Myers here. This is the unluckiest wide receiver in the NFL when it comes to his touchdown rate. This is a player that simply cannot find the end zone, but we're chasing volume. We're chasing targets, kind of ignoring what you have with that touchdown rate. Zach Ertz goes to the 11-11, Devontae Parker at the 11-12. I do think Jacoby Myers is the better bet over Devontae Parker. He has the chemistry of Mac Jones. And more importantly, as we've said, he has the volume. He has that target share you are consistently chasing. Okay, so I don't even know what we really want falling. What we want going off the board is we need these running backs getting drafted. We need these RBs getting drafted. Yeah, Michael Carter goes. That's good for us. We are looking at wide receiver and tight end. Okay, so Galladay has an ADP of 127. Keep in mind they add Wan'Dale Robinson. He goes anyway at the 1203. Corey Davis is going to be a very hard selection with Garrett Wilson going over. I think this is probably the point where we end up just moving over and start taking tight ends. I think we're probably going to draft one of our most drafted tight ends so far this season. Corey Davis goes to the 1204. Yeah, we are so weak at receiver. Let's try to come away with 2 tight ends. Like if we can go tight end here and tight end in the next round, what that will allow for us is a 2 quarterback, 2 tight end build, possibly 4 to 5 running backs, and we could possibly get up to about 10 wide receivers. And for the best ball format, that could possibly save our position. So we're going to go Gronk. He will be one of my most drafted tight ends this year. He is like half a year older than Travis Kelce. And what I will say is I live in Tampa. Someone sent in our group chat, Rob Gronkowski, a video of him at a barbershop saying, hell, I'm coming back. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So, don't know if it's true. Don't know if he was saying it just because he didn't want to get harassed at the barbershop, but we will see. We will see. Ronald Jones goes to the 1207. I think there's a chance we do get Cole Kmet making it back to us. Tyler Higbee goes to the 1208. Because if you look, every single one of these teams has a tight end. A couple of these teams have 2 tight ends. Like really, Josh and Crucial, whatever the hell this guy's name is, these are the only 2 teams that I could realistically see taking a tight end in this stretch of 4 picks. So I think we probably are going to get our guy Cole Kmet making it back to us. And I'm comfortable with Kmet and with Rob Gronkowski and building around 2 tight ends in this format. Because we've seen that Gronk does have that elite ceiling. And with Kmet, I actually think that he has one of the highest floors for any tight ends being drafted in this range of the draft, because this is a player that should be the 2nd target leader in Chicago. Like, I'm not a big Justin Fields fan, but if Justin Fields is going to come close to succeeding, Cole Kmet has to as well. So yeah, let's get Kmet making it back to us. Isaiah Spiller goes to the 12-11. Good for us to see these running backs going off the board. And I really like the value of running back in this range. That's one thing we need to adjust. We need to start moving these wide receivers up our rankings more. Because once we get past this 9th round range, once we get Chase Claypool off the board, like once Tyler Boyd's gone, the drop in a receiver is so hard where you're still getting great running backs. Like taking a shot on Dameon Pierce, taking a shot on Rachaad White, taking a shot on Alexander Mattison, Melvin Gordon. I love that. Okay, so you have a triple tight end build over here with Freiermuth, Gesicki, Kmet. Okay, I really don't like that. Who does this team have at receiver? They have T. Higgins, Pittman, Drake London, Treylon Burks. So this team has 4 wide receivers total so far, and 2 of them are rookies. Okay. This team's on auto. This team's just donating their $25 to the league pot. Thank you. I needed a tight end, but when you see a team take 4 tight ends, they either A, don't know what they're doing, or B, they're on auto draft. And that's good for you because Underdog takes 10% of the pot. That's how they make money. So they're paying that 10% plus a little bit more to donate to everybody else.
You were literally too stupid to insult.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so Josh on the clock at the beginning of the 13th. DJ Chark at the 13:02. Odell Beckham Jr. would be a very hard sell here when we have DeAndre Hopkins. Like, we need wide receiver targets almost immediately. And we can't take running back, can't take receiver, so we are pretty much exclusively wide receiver and tight end at this point. I'm sorry, we can't take running back or quarterback. I would love Jahan Dotson making it to us. I know we were just talking about maybe not necessarily going too hard with these rookies when we have DeAndre Hopkins, but whenever we're at pick 151, at that point, oh my God, Dylan, of course he goes Dotson. I hate drafting with Dylan. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Well, better luck next year.
No, that wasn't very nice.
We'll go David Bell. Looks like we're going David Bell. Unless we want a tight end. You know what? Julio Jones goes to the... Okay, how many teams here have a tight end? Okay, so Shrug only has one tight end. Dell's only has one tight end. And that other team took 4 of these tight ends. So we're going to have to take one of these guys. You know what? We could actually pass and end up getting Robert Tonyan or David Njoku making it back to us. Because if you get a tight end, a tight end, a tight end, a tight end, that's 4. There are 5 tight ends left available. The thing is, we really need Tim Patrick on this team. When we have Wilson, we really need to start getting these Denver pass catchers. So I think we go ahead and take Patrick. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to take Tim Patrick. You are going to see tight ends go off the board here. It could be a mistake. I'm essentially betting that we're going to get one of these 5 guys making it back to us. And I think this draft is almost dead if we don't build in at least some upside through these stacks. So Noah Fant goes to the 1309. I'm fine with Noah Fant going. Okay, Deezenators, I believe, has 3 tight ends. War Rocket could go with the tight end here. He only has 1. He goes Alec Pierce to the 1310. I honestly probably would prefer David Bell over Alec Pierce, but I understand the upside play. Gus Edwards at the 1311. Come on. Come on. Get us our guy. Get us a tight end making him back. I actually really do like the idea of drafting Robert Tonyan this year. I mean, with Robert Tonyan, this is a tight end that last year I clearly was, okay, I am done informing y'all when I'm getting in a Best Ball Mania 3 draft. You have David Bell going off the board here at the 1312. God dang. Everybody that I like to see in the draft room, I get excited. At first, I'm like, oh, Deezenators, love Deezenators. Oh, Dylan, love Dylan. Get excited to see him in the draft room until they're actually making picks. And then it's like, why did I tell you I was in here? Why did I tell you to come in and hop in? Oh, my gosh. Okay, Gainwell at the 1401, Hunter Henry at the 1402. But anyway, going back to Robert Tonyan, this is a tight end that last year was horribly overrated because in 2020, he scored a touchdown on 1 out of every 6 targets. You don't have to be a mathematician to know that there's a 0% chance that happens again. But now, you have no Devontae Adams. You have a better situation for Robert Tonyan, and his price is half of what it was. So I actually may end up drafting Robert Tonyan here. Let's see. Shrug only has 1 tight end. He has Darren Waller currently. He's gone 5 running backs, 6 receivers, 1 quarterback as well. So you could see him going QB. Honestly, if I were him, I possibly would grab Tannehill here. But his quarterback is Josh Allen. He goes Jamison Crowder. So yeah, we are going to go Robert Tonyan. You add 32% of the Green Bay Packers targets going to Devontae Adams last year. That's a lot. And with Devontae Adams, we know he's the best red zone receiver in the NFL. So if now those targets are open in this offense with Aaron Rodgers, I got news for everybody who loves Christian Watson. He's not getting every single one. I'm fine drafting Robert Tonyan this season at the 1406. And David Njoku at the 1409. Really like that as well. I just genuinely like these tight end values a lot more than what you find earlier on. Like, if we go to see where Dallas Goedert fell way behind his ADP here. Dallas Goedert has an ADP actually near the end of the 8th round. So like if you would ask me who would you prefer, like Christian Watson and Robert Tonyan or Dallas Goedert and the receiver in this range, Van Jefferson, I think I easily am going to prefer waiting on tight end. Okay, Keel Herbert, Marlon Mack going off the board in the 14th round, at the end of the 14th. Good for us. Good for us. We kind of want to see these running backs. I'm not going to be opposed to drafting one more RB, but it will be something I want to try to avoid if we can. Let's go through and let's star all the... Actually, we're probably done at tight end, to be honest. Let's start all the Denver Broncos and Miami Dolphins players. Not saying we're going to have to draft one in this range, but I want to make sure we're not missing out on any. Cedric Wilson, not exciting, but hell, it is what it is. Where's our guy Hamler? There's no way in hell Hamler was drafted, right? If someone drafted Hamler, I'm losing my mind. Oh, no. KJ Hamler's there. Okay. Just so we remember to take some more shots on these stacks. Probably not going to be taking these players here, however. Yeah, I don't know if Jarvis Landry is... If we were going to draft him, pick 175 doesn't seem bad when he has an ADP of 162. The question is, yeah, Jarvis Landry goes at 1505. I was going to say, the question is, if he signs, where does his value actually go? Yeah, we need to just hammer in these wide receivers now. We're going to have to build around 9 receivers, I bet, in this draft. Okay, so Winston goes in the middle of the 15th. I think we're probably going to end up going Joshua Palmer here. I don't love it, but he has an ADP of 165. I mean, with Curtis Samuel, they add in Jahan Dotson. Laviska Shenault could be available to us in the next round. Yeah, so let's just go ahead and take Joshua Palmer. This is a wide receiver that was being drafted a lot earlier in these drafts. If you were looking at the beginning of the season with the speculation that you may have had Mike Williams out of Los Angeles, clearly Mike Williams coming back does lower the excitement for Joshua Palmer, but you're still expecting this to be one of the best offenses in the NFL with Justin Herbert there. So Logan Thomas goes to the 1508. Okay, so we have 3 picks left. Sammy Watkins at the 1509. I think our next selection is probably going to be Cedric Wilson. I'm assuming Cedric Wilson's the wide receiver 3 in Miami currently. Is he not? Let me look up exactly what he did last year for the Cowboys. Because obviously he stepped into a role whenever you had no Michael Gallup there. Came away 61 targets, 45 receptions, 602 yards. Did he provide you with any spike weeks? For some reason, I thought I remembered him getting more volume than that. Okay, so he did have some spike weeks. He had, against the Philadelphia Eagles, 119 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. Against the Raiders, 104 receiving yards, 10 targets. 84 receiving yards against the Vikings. I guess if he can provide you with some spike weeks, and we have that stack with Tua and Tyreek Hill. It's not pretty, but we got to go with him. We have no option. Matt Ryan at the 15-12. And yeah, this is why I hate drafting Tua. I hate it so much. Because the quarterbacks that you have available to you at the very end, like Tannehill going at pick 178 when we took Tua at 114, that is just so ugly. It's so ugly. Okay, so Taysom Hill at 1603. I like the Taysom Hill call. We actually talked about that in a live stream a couple of weeks ago. I think a week ago at this point. Brian Robinson at the 1604. Yeah, we're just going Cedric Wilson. We're just getting the stack with Tua Tagovailoa, getting the double stack there with Tyreek Hill. So far this team, quarterback, Russell Wilson, Tua Tagovailoa, running back, Austin Eckler, Saquon Barkley, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, receiver, Tyreek Hill, DJ Moore, DeAndre Hopkins, Chase Claypool, Jacoby Myers, Tim Patrick, Joshua Palmer, Cedric Wilson, tight end, Rob Gronkowski, Robert Tonyan. We got work to do. We got to improve. If we are still drafting this way in August, I'm not going to be able to get in the $250 drafts. Let me go through and try to figure out what went wrong here. Eckler in the first, I'm fine with. Tyreek in the second. Keep in mind, we were drafting based off those rankings. I think in a vacuum, we probably got to go CeeDee Lamb here. Especially if I hate that Tua Tagovailoa value later on. I think if we don't like the Tua value, we got to just be avoiding these Miami Dolphins stacks in general. So taking Tua in the second, this is the second time that we have made this mistake. Taking Tyreek Hill in the second round. This is something we just cannot do. Third round, Saquon Barkley, 307, completely fine with it. DJ Moore in the middle of the 4th, I like it. Breece Hall in the middle of the 5th, I like it. Hopkins in the middle of the 6th, I like it. Wilson in the middle of the 7th. We go Wilson here because of what we were speaking on previously and that we were just taking based off the top of our rankings. But I think if we were to go back with this, what would have been a lot better is if we were to say take CeeDee Lamb here in the second, then Gary Whale probably wouldn't have gone Dak in the seventh because they did that to take the stack with CeeDee Lamb. So if instead of taking Tyreek, we went CeeDee Lamb, there could have been a chance that Dak Prescott fell to us instead of Russell Wilson in the seventh, and we could have had that stack with Dak and Lamb at a reasonable price. Kenneth Walker in the middle of the eighth. I'm honestly fine with this selection as well. Claypool in the middle of the ninth. I feel like we got boxed out of the position. Obviously, it would have been much, much better to get Christian Kirk or Christian Watson making it back to us, but I'm fine with the pick. Tua in the 10th. Disgusting, disgusting, disgusting. I would have preferred to go running back. Now, the issue is if we were going to go running back instead of Tua, we need to figure out where we could have not taken another one of these running backs previously. Like, we can't take a fifth running back here. So what was our least favorite running back value in this draft up until this point? Should we have possibly passed on Hall? Yeah, we passed on Breece Hall, go Chris Godwin. Then at that point, instead of taking our second quarterback here in Tua, we're able to go running back, whether you like Chase Edmonds or James Cook. We go running back here in the 10th. Yeah, and I think that would make this draft significantly better. Hopefully that thought process helped you out, helped you learn why we messed up this draft and how to avoid that going forward. Okay, so now we are on the clock. I think we can take running back here. Yeah, so Hamler went. We're just going to go. Actually, no. We're going to go Donta Foreman. Get the pick in. Come on. We tried to go in Donta Foreman over Kyron Williams. Ended up not working out. But the thought process here and why we would have gone Donta Foreman if we did not get autoed was the fact that if you look at the discrepancy between Christian McCaffrey's ADP, going at 3, the market's baking in the very high injury risk that Christian McCaffrey has. Because if there was no injury risk, he would be the 101. It wouldn't be close. He'd be in his own tier. He'd be in the 101 in every single draft. And Donta Foreman is the unquestioned, and I repeat, the unquestioned handcuff running back there. It is not Chuba Hubbard anymore. So if you're getting Donta Foreman consistently in the 17th, 18th, you can almost hedge your bets and say, hell, every time I'm on the clock at the 102, I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey. And every draft I don't get McCaffrey in, I'm going to go Donta Foreman in the 17th, 18th, knowing that he will be a massive hit if McCaffrey were to get injured. At that point, you're almost guaranteeing yourself profit. I feel like if the market's that concerned with an injury from CMC, Donta Foreman should be going ahead of someone like Raheem Mostert. Okay. So now let's move this over. And we have to go receiver here. And when we take receiver, I acknowledge Byron Pringle definitely has the highest floor out of any of these options. He most likely will have the highest hit rate. But what we really want to be doing is we want to take a receiver that not many other people are going to be drafting. That way, if we get to that playoff setting, we do have a very high ceiling. So in that case, probably going to end up going a Devin Duvernay with the Hollywood Brown trade. I think Devin Duvernay has a very safe role in this offense based on his ability as a returner. And on top of this, if you're looking at Devin Duvernay, I think you could see access to his ceiling if he is able to step into that Hollywood Brown role and say something happens to Rashad Bateman where he's dealing with injuries again this upcoming season. But let me show you all the entire draft board. And of course, thank you so much for being a part of the flock. If you have not done so already, go sign up for Underdog Fantasy. Get into some drafts with us. Go use promo code FLOCK. And when you use promo code FLOCK, they'll match your first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. And on top of this, you will get our 2022 rookie draft guide. You will get our dynasty rankings. And hopefully I can upload the CSV file after we get these rankings perfected. I want to do a better job with these rankings. I want to make sure that they are in a much better spot for y'all to use in drafts. And I'm going to continue to try to work and try to improve these. But thank you again. I genuinely appreciate you. And I hope that you have